Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I am with John Fitch, and we're doing it proper style this time around. We're doing some mixed martial mindset. We'll actually talk fights, although it sure seems like we're fighting for this country every day, eh, John Fitch?
You're correct. I don't know. Are we crazy people, or is this really happening? Because like half the country thinks that like you're complete nut job for thinking that everything's fine, everything's great now. We're back to normal. Everything's good.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
bro. I so
I
I
don't
was
know.
I
And
was
then and
on.
then there are some super crazy people that are like, oh my god, they're sending me a message about the Pope being arrested. Get wet, get ready any day. They're like, don't update your phone. They're trying to block the president's emergency notice. So it's like, and it's the psycho. It's the same. It's no different than the damn Russian collusion mother grabbers. It's the same. It's the same level of crazy. These fringe nut jobs pushing these stories, but like they don't see it. Neither side sees it. Like, oh no, that side's super bad. Whoa, there was maybe something with the with the Russian. No, there wasn't. It's the same exact bullshit on both sides. It's manufactured freaking outrage, people. If you are not, you don't feel equally the same about Russian collusion as you do about um the fucking
QAnon.
Q and on, right?
QAnon.
Right. If you don't see them both as crazy nut job, what they are, like you have a problem. You
Thank
need to
you.
take a step back.
Thank you. Thank you. Because at the base
I
of
I
it, go ahead.
I tweeted out. I follow that Yashar guy. And he tweeted something about oh, there's something deeper to these insurrections or whatever. You know, some kind of mobilization or some shit was really happening. And then I posted a comment responding to that, and it was a graph, and it said your outrage is manufactured if, and then it listed the Black Lives Matters protests, and the protest riot shit that happened at the Capitol, and it pieced them, like the different things, how long they lasted, what happened, what was damaged, and if we were outraged by one more than the other, and you don't feel equally the same about them, you have a problem. You have a serious problem. You have a serious sideism, tribalism. It's dangerous. You need to check yourself.
Thank you. Because again, we all have to realize that whatever narrative we may believe in, we are susceptible to disinformation just like any other human being, that we all fall for subliminal advertising on a daily basis through consumerism, let alone the political propaganda that is spoon fed to us, and sometimes not spoon fed,
It's the
shoveled down our
natural,
throats on a daily
mhm,
basis,
the
depending on how
natural
much.
biological desire to fit in with your group, be a part of the in group. Like you want to fit in. And if everybody's telling you, oh no, Billy, everybody should feel this way about this thing. If you don't, you're a bad person. You shouldn't be allowed to post things on the interweb or own things. Hey, where's it? It's it's draconian. It's wild that people are they're gonna embrace the fascism that's coming. Like
It's here,
real
coming. We're here, baby.
over
So,
here.
all right. Right now, the word on the street was that Trump was reportedly going to give a speech after this impeachment stuff that's already been on the floor that we talked about. For those
Why
that
are they
don't know,
pushing this stuff?
what's
Like the only thing they're pushing this not because like see, this is like what the Q people are thinking. Oh, they're only pushing this and they're freaking out because the short period of time left in office because something big's going to happen. But no, this is their leverage to paint everybody who supports that ideology as a terrorist and evil, and now they're going to be able to throw you in a camp, and everybody's going to cheer it on.
it's bad
They're
news,
cheer it
bro.
on like, oh my god, they found a Trump hat. They found a Trump hat in his car.
They've already
Everybody,
prepped you for that.
thank,
Wi- wi-
thank goodness they got him. Oops, goodness, thank goodness they got him.
Well, remember the mail bomber and his MAGA van I mean, they've already prepped us so much for that. Before we
Yep.
get going, guys, because we're already off on a tangent. Yes, we'll talk mixed martial arts. It's mixed martial mindset. I just want to remind everybody, fully demonetized here, probably soon to be deplatformed by AI, but you can still donate over at the GoFundMe for now. And John, I did it. I backed up all 1,700 plus videos. I gotta give props to Library and
Everything up on-
Odyssey.
Oh, Library and Odyssey. Wow.
It was so easy, bro. It said it was going to take up to a week for my videos. I think it did it in about 48 to 72 hours.
Wow.
It archived every single one of my videos. It's they're on the
through that.
what? Yeah.
Got the tell me what you did with that.
Yeah, I'll walk you through it. I'll send you the link. You'll see how easy it was. But there it is. So now I'm on the blockchain. It's there forever somewhere, guys. So we did it. Big Tech is censoring big time right now. Check out the documentary films while they're still there, while they're not labeled complete terrorist propaganda. Because remember, mainstream media has tried to demonize myself, Dylan Avery, Corey Rowe, the Loose Change crew as the beginnings of QAnon. And it's in multiple outlets now, and it's the new thing that they're trying to push because domestic terrorism is going to be all the thing. Rockfin.
And there.
Exploding again. It took a dip with the rest of crypto today, but it hit an all-time high the other day, I think of $4.69 or maybe even closer to $5. It's at like 320 something right now. Huge.
Wow.
JohnFitch.net. That's where you find everything John Fitch, including your courses and how to get actual seminars, although you can watch them on Gumroad and other places, John.
Yes, I have courses available on Gumroad, some free stuff, some paid courses. I'm working on another course I'm putting up. It's going to be a two-parter. You can buy them separate or together. I have a few ways to get it. But yeah, you know, master some violence, master your health, master your diet, get that stuff under control, guys, because things are going to get maybe a little wild, even more wild.
I think more wild.
To hold my beer.
Well, I'll tell you what. Had Whitney Webb on this morning, and boy, the trolls were out in full force. They hate. By the way, John's not Whitney Webb. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It must have been a subliminal thing. Gruelingtruth.com, thegruelingtruth.com. That's where you can find the audio version of the podcast. But yeah, Whitney Webb, you know, talk about calling it, talking about domestic terror, talking about cyber attacks before the election, talking about unrest. All of it's coming to fruition. And so I don't know if you've seen the headlines, but right after we were done with the broadcast, she sends me a link where the mainstream media is talking about armed militia groups going on the capitals in all 50 states as a protest to this, right? I had a conversation with a bunch of influencers last night on a call, and somebody there had mentioned that the intel was that that might actually happen. And now I'm seeing it in the mainstream media. I don't know about you, John, but I feel like if force is used on any level like that, we the people are the ones that are going to lose.
Yeah, they're going to use. You can see with history, the only demonstrations that ever really worked were the 60s peaceful demonstrations. If you come in with force, they're just going to kill everybody. Like, they're just going to take down. They're going to come in with more draconian measures to keep you safe. So you're going to be locked in your house more. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. They're going to track you everywhere. Like, they're just going to use it as a reason to take more of your rights away. It's all that's going to happen. You want to really do something. You really want to change something. Start shutting things. Like, don't pay taxes. Don't pay taxes this year.
Well, I would find it hard pressed.
People to say F you, pay taxes. Don't vote. Don't go anywhere. Just sit in the street. Like, build gardens. Just unplug. Like, honestly, that's where we're at. I think, unplug from them, because I don't think you're not going to beat them by force, and they've shown that they're going to cheat. So you're not going to outbeat them in their own game. So stop playing.
Well, look at what we were talking about.
Like, get some chickens, get a goat.
So are you leaving your area? I don't know. Could you have a goat where you're living?
I'm stuck here, but I mean, like, that's. I kind of feel like That's where people need to start thinking about what to do. Become self-sufficient, unplug from the government. Like,
Well,
stop, we're all funding terrorist organization.
You're not wrong.
We're all funding a terrorist organization in the U.S. government. Let's stop.
Well, I've been saying that for years. We are the biggest terrorist organization. All the analytics show it. All the evidence shows it. You see what's going on across the world, let alone the origins and the ties to things like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Al-Nusra. Did you see that headline? We didn't even do that one. I didn't even report this. I didn't do a video on it, but we're gonna fucking do it live. Okay, John? For those that don't know, the Obama administration helped fund Al-Qaeda during the whole ISIS scare. Obama administration found guilty of aiding Al-Qaeda. We'll type it right in. I want to get something from the last year. Because this is, there it is right there. What is it? First of all, it's in 2008, but I want to go to news. War crimes risk, no. I literally put this out on my Facebook. You know what? We'll do it goddamn live that way. You get to see all my friends, guys. That's great. We'll do it live. Where do I have to go? Over here. So, Fitch, is McGregor going to win this fight against Poirier? Is it going to be another whatchamacallit fest? Or does Poirier knock him out in the second fight because he's not depleted?
I don't know. I think hopefully it'll be a much better fight. And Poirier, I'd like to see Poirier win. It'd be nice to see Poirier win.
Look at that.
Kind of hasn't fought in a while. I'm tired of him.
So I literally typed in exactly what I needed. Only it says Senate investigation finds Obama administration knowingly funded Al-Qaeda affiliate. You see how hard that was to find in regular Google? I had to remember where I posted it. This is from.
Send me that link.
Well, I'll send it to you right now on the other side. But there it is right here. This is December 29th, 2020. All right, so this is recent. This is in the last 2 weeks. Did you hear about this one, John?
Nope.
Must have missed it, huh? Nonprofit humanitarian agency World Vision United States improperly, really, transacted with the Islamic Relief Agency in 2014 with approval from the Obama administration, sending government funds to an organization that had been sanctioned over its ties to terrorism, according to a new report. It's called front companies, guys. It's called plausible deniability. I mean, all that stuff. Again, I've been reporting on it forever. It's already buried.
Everything that Clinton's emails revealed, pay to play type stuff. Oh, well, my organization is going to give you a job and speaking money and all this stuff. And then, oh, what do you know? This other group it's just so happened you did something that benefited them. It's just whatever. It's dirty pool.
Dude,
this stuff only happens because the press doesn't do their job. They're not a real press anymore. They're just PR. They do PR for the corporations and the government, who's one and the same. Like, if the press actually did their damn job, this would be front page news. Everybody would know about this. The politicians wouldn't be able to do these deals because they'd have somebody up their ass all the time, asking them questions about it, pushing back on their puffy statements about how, oh, we all need to be more unified and diverse or whatever bullshit they're peddling.
It's literal lying psychopaths that are telling us to do what to do, and we're supposed to trust them now when this war on terror is a farce. Look at this stuff. It's right in your face. Now, here's something even more disturbing. We talk about a media narrative out there, right? And how they report certain things and they don't. Did you know we had a serial killer this week in the United States? Let me explain something to you. We had a guy who went through Chicago area in one day and killed 5 fucking people and shot a bunch more. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't hear a word about it.
I'm going to be doing a whole video on it because let me explain why you don't know about it. This guy also posted to social media about it, John, as he did it. Did you hear about that?
Nope.
Why didn't we hear about this? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I want to reiterate this. And I've been saying this since I've had any kind of a platform anywhere. all the way back in the InfoWars day. A thing called crazy fucking exists. Some people are fucking crazy. And any kind of identity politics or racial or gender bullshit that you want to project upon that is you doing it. All right? Crazy's been around forever. It's never going away. Now, let me show you this. This guy, a 32-year-old man, I'm sorry, he killed 4 so far. Okay, others are in critical condition. He went around Chicago. He's 32. He is a man of color. People have asked about the badge there. Apparently, he worked security somewhere, although the guy who he worked security for says he doesn't remember him. Who knows? This guy had a slew of charges. We're going to do a whole video on this. Had a slew of charges against him and kept getting released through the system. Okay, John? And went on social media and started talking about how he was given blessings and then straight up just murdering people. Shot a 15-year-old girl in the fucking head, John. In the head, in a car next to his mother. Her mother. This is insanity. All right? It's this guy right here. We're going to read this whole article. This is him posting to social media here while he's doing it. All right? His sister apparently gave an interview and said, you know, my brother was not and hadn't been right in his mind for a long time. You know, my condolences to any families affected by his mental breakdown. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that had been there's this terrible narrative out there that the only serial killers in our history are white men. It's bullshit. Okay, it's total bullshit. And first of all, our American history and these serial killers, a lot of those stories are conflated. You look at the John Wayne Gacy story right now, I'm telling you, you need to listen to The Clown and the Candyman. It's way bigger than that. It's a fucking multi-millionaire pedophile ring, an elite pedophile ring. That's what that was, guys. All right? Buckle up. And I'm not saying that's what this is because I think crazy exists. But what I'm telling you is that there's this running narrative of how things go. And you didn't even hear this. That should have been, you would think that would have been a news story that made national news. Do you not?
Exactly. What color were the victims? Is that
they haven't even said, listen.
Part of it too?
That they haven't released that information. And I don't want this to sound sadistic.
Why it's not reported on.
Well, I'm hoping to the life of me that, you know, this guy was just so mentally ill that he was just picking random people and didn't make it racial. But if he somehow did make it racial,
well, I mean, you take crazy and then you throw in the atmosphere that the press has created right now, and you're going to get some bad things happening.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but my point is, if that is the case, John, and the media is covering that aspect of it, eventually this story is going to get out. You know, I expect later when I do a full story on this, and I already have the thumbnail, that at least some people in the alt media will catch it. And that happens a lot. And then all of a sudden the story gets out 4 or 5 days later. If there ends up being a racial element to this, well, then you have even more of this conservative versus liberal. You know, God forbid this guy was ever at a Black Lives Matter event or something like this. Then the right takes hold of it. You know what I'm saying?
They show up, he's got a T-shirt in one of his posts.
Well, and then they say, hey, we never made this guy was on social media talking about this. I still haven't watched the videos of what he said that were posted to social media. God forbid. I'm going to do that before the video. But I'm just saying that would be just another one of these sparks that the predator class wants for us to fight against each other.
Well, I mean, like they're already, I'm impressed they're not leveraging it to get more stuff taken off the internet.
Well, they might later on. But right now they don't want to spark.
Think about it. Think about what they're doing, like who they're taking off the internet and what they're taking them off for. The guy did a massacre on Facebook in New Zealand. Right, and he posted it on Facebook, but like Facebook wasn't taken down. Facebook's not like banned from servers. It's okay for people to post murder. How many murders have been posted on Facebook? Several.
More than people can imagine.
Several.
Listen, there are dark groups that are just like private groups.
Parlor thing. How is Parlor doing anything that's worse than what's been already shown on Facebook?
Well, they're not. That's the thing. But
you have corporations censoring other corporations. I find that's got to be unconstitutional. That's got to be illegal.
They're not. I keep telling you, dude. I've been telling you this forever. They're not corporations. They're part of the NSA. They're part of the military industrial complex. That's why. That's why we're seeing this now, okay? Because they are literally, and anybody out there can fact check me on this, but they're literally bred through things like In-Q-Tel, which is the investment arm of the CIA. And when, again, you have guys like good old Eric Schmidt writing books, The New Digital Age, Reshaping the Future of Nations, People, and Business. And he is the CEO and founder of Google. He's involved with Alphabet. YouTube's owned by them. He's on the National Security Council. He's on the National Security Council. That's not a private corporation. All right. You may be able to trade stocks in it, and it makes that illusion. But that's all it is an illusion. So they never want to rein this in. They want everything to run through this. You know, again, one of the things we were talking about, other than protest and peaceful protest, the new civil rights movement, etc., because I think that's what it's going to take, is new technology, exactly what we were talking about. And I don't want to out another person there, but they were actually talking about a device, not a phone, but very similar to what we were talking about the other day. And because what happens when they just start pulling things from servers? What happens when I can't use PayPal?
Well, that's what this is going to do. This is going to speed up the next evolution of the internet, because people who are getting kicked off, people who have money still, people are going to want to be doing what they want to do. They're going to find ways to subvert the blocks. They're going to come up with their own servers. They're going to come up with their own ways to access the internet. The ban can't last forever.
Yeah, well, I hope you're right, man, because I think the crackdown's coming. I don't know
it's already started. It started. The crackdown has been rolling out slowly since 2015, 16, when they started banning people.
Yeah, but dude, after COVID 1984,
from the internet, when they started censoring people, when they started getting people kicked off of platforms so that they couldn't, they got kicked out of payment platforms. When that started happening, when people didn't like put their foot down, then it was like, no, these people can't make money anymore because people don't like their opinions. They don't have to listen to those people, but they're not allowed to. You're not allowed to live or make money anymore because I don't like your opinion.
And meanwhile, they're pushing us
up and stop it. They didn't stop it, and then what are you going to do now?
Well, again, and they're pushing against any kind of actual monetary transactions. They want everything digital, right? Listen, you're right that it was a slow rollout for a long time. But this COVID 1984, man, has really pushed so many of these agendas, especially this trans. I'll tell you, my cousin was here, right? And he's like, dude, I went to get gas, and like he's like, half the people weren't wearing masks in the place, and I go, I know, right? It's pretty cool. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't really ready for it. I go, well, when we go to lunch today, we'll go to Hooters. Because they don't even have signs on the thing. There's no stickers, and you don't have everybody just walks in. He's like, really? I've never been to one. I go, it'll be like we're in 2019, but it's Halloween, and all the girls are like Aladdin too. So, there's no plexiglass or anything. All the girls have the things over their face. That's it. And everything else is just normal. Walk in. Hey, they're not. You know what's great? Listen to this. You're going to think this is fucking wild. They have the place where you can take the rolled napkins off. Wait. And they have hot sauce and other condiments still out you can touch and use. Whoa! Holy fucking 2019! I mean, but the fucking, those are the little things. Like, I was out with fucking Militich after the Capitol thing, right, that night. Mm-hmm. And Pat, man, he's not happy about any of this shit. And we're having to eat outside in a fucking tent, a heated tent that's closed off. But it's like ridiculous that we can't go inside and eat. We're in Virginia, I think. We're on the Virginia end. And, he wants salt and pepper and hot sauce. And they won't even give you the fucking things, man. They give you like little paper packets and a little Dixie cup of hot sauce. And, he hates it.
You have to start wearing it. Tell him to start bringing him a fanny pack with him, and he can put condiments in his fanny pack.
I'm going to let him know you said that. Oh, dude. But seriously, dude, it's just like so much.
I mean, it's bizarre to me. Like, there's definitely two different types of personalities around, just do what you're told and leave me alone.
I mean, really? How do you feel about it right now? I mean, you got to be feeling it.
It's just, it's a little bit harder to book seminars right now, but
Uh-huh.
at the same time, yeah, it's I don't mind because I'm working from home anyways. So like
Yeah.
I'm watching other people like lose their minds and shit, and I'm okay. I'm like I'm kind of like everybody else. Hey, you guys, you need to get ready because it's probably not gonna go so well. It's probably gonna get much worse. Like, um, if I can continue to find ways to make money from home and I get to spend extra time with my kids, like I'm all right. But like when I'm just getting ready for, I start seeing things pop off, like, I'm like killing in the guns, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I might have lost them in a boating accident, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Just,
I do. I don't know, man. Like I
aware.
said, the kids are back in school. Everything is so much more normal here, but I really fear that in 10 days maybe it's not, when the president says like this mandatory mask order for the entire country. I think that's extremely dangerous and not something I'm going to be a part of. I am worried that I've got this triple MMA card coming up.
How can a presidential order, like, how can he do that? It's not constitutional.
I get it.
He's not a king. He can't say it. So I don't know, but like, there's got to be a legal way to object that. Like, people can sue, or they have to get arrested and then sue, and we have to find a class action lawsuit against the president in order to fight it. Or are all the judges going to be in on it? Be like, oh no, we're not even going to hear
Well, the
this.
question is, dude, I mean, that's maybe when you start really popping people off, and people are really getting ready to go hard, like we've never seen before. And I'm not going to say anything else, but like you're almost inciting people that already are on the brink, already say they don't have a voice, and then you're forcing the muzzle all the way around. I'm just saying there's a breaking point for everybody, John. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to enjoy this week the best I can, and hopefully there's not madness during this week. But I don't know. But I'll tell you this.
He goes, come on, it's gonna be mad.
All right, easy guy. I'm more than a half full guy. Like, again, I hope I chose the right spot because I'm in suburbia kind of, but I'm still in a city area. I think I'm amongst a lot of level-headed citizens, where they're not gonna just go along with it, and we'll see what local law enforcement does. But at the same time, across the way, it's much more liberal. In the other side of the Quad Cities in Illinois, it's kind of unpredictable, right? And I don't know, man, where my country gone? Now, this is the first time we've ever had a uniparty like this in such a time where, I mean, they're encouraging big tech censorship, and there's obvious collusion with Google, Twitter, Amazon, PayPal, you name it, right?
People are just okay with it. They're embracing it and think it's a good thing. That's the scariest part about it. Like, I bring up these things, and they're like, so, and like they zero, like, oh, this could be a problem. But they're good people. They're nice. They're nice.
Like, no, bro. They're not nice. No. Like, they're not good. They're not nice. The whole thing of free speech.
What government or what corporation has been like great and nice and good and never done anything wrong in the history of the world? Like, most of them have killed like hundreds of millions of people. It's
unapologetically done worse than just kill people. By the way, and I know that's hard to. What do you mean worse than kill people? Look into it, guys. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know the rest of this card.
People.
What's that?
George W. Bush tortured people. Literally tortured people. We know this. It's not a speculation. George W. Bush tortured human beings. But Trump's worse because he said mean things.
That's the why. Well, again, man, I don't know about you, but I'm sure you've seen all the nonsense that's been out there, the Q stuff that's supposedly real. Like you said, the Pope's getting arrested and fucking.
Yeah, the lights are off in the Vatican. I'm getting all kinds of texts. And then I somebody was doing like, there's a guy at the Vatican, like, we're doing a walkthrough. Like, yeah, the lights are fine, guys. Like, what's going on?
Oh. Dude, it's outrageous.
Walk through, and he's like, you see these lights? They've never been off. They haven't shut off. This is the center area. I was like, there's no helicopters. saying like Italian president said something, or I don't even know, man. It's
There's
just,
no Insurrection Act that's been signed. He's not
yeah.
Cheyenne Mountain. I'm getting these things, and it's like, guys, you got to rein it in. It's over right now. You better start making a plan for what's really about to happen because they're going to try to impeach him. Forget about that. Like, he needs to start just pardoning people, okay? Left and right now.
Declassifying and pardoning. 100%.
Well, what's he really going to be able to declassify? Again, people were saying that last night on the call. What? He
Kennedy
tried.
assassination, Area 51.
Bro, he declassified fucking
Bombgate, or I don't know.
the JFK stuff, and they still didn't let him. Like, can you imagine that? This stuff should have been declassified 20 plus years ago by law, and I think we're going to do it now. And they're like, hey, buddy, how about a big fuck you? Hey, listen, guy, I know no.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It shows that we've never lived in the constitutional republic that we were guaranteed under that document and the Bill of Rights.
Well, I mean, not for 100 years, probably at least.
They're not, dude. They're going to rewrite history like you never fucking seen. They get their way.
What they're trying to do in the last 5 years has been 100% about rewriting history into, instead of people fighting for freedom and fighting away from slavery, because, feudalism was essentially slavery, open air slavery. Everybody was owned by the king. So, they want to rewrite the history of this country into an evil, horrible thing. Oppression and slavery, and you guys are the worst people ever for being here now. Yeah, and that's what the future is going to be. And no, that's not what the history was.
No, well, again, they don't want to show all sides of it. Like, there was warring tribes here. It was very tribal throughout the world.
Like mass suicides, like the Columbus sided with the guys who were being enslaved and raped and murdered by the other natives.
Well, yeah, they all manipulated.
A smaller group to conquer the torturous ones, so they were kind of heroes to those people.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, you can't.
But human beings did bad shit throughout all of history,
exactly,
including today. There, you can buy a slave in
Libya.
Yeah. Buy a slave in Libya today.
Yep. Modern day slave trade, and on top of that, again, history is rife with being written by the winners. If you think that royal bloodlines ruling over literally not only decades but centuries through those bloodlines is okay, I don't know what to tell you. That's obviously a flawed system. It is a system that is on Earth right now. And we're seeing an alliance with those interests with big tech to try to silence any type of dissident voices. So this isn't about Trump. It never has been to me. This isn't about just the 2020 election. It never
not the ideas he represented, the populist ideas.
Again,
then it's a global thing. It's like whole Brexit, all that. People are getting sick of this overlord shit. I see it other places. It's not just here.
Yeah, well, again, you're not seeing the media, but we had that big protest in Denmark. You know what? Maybe we'll do it live. We'll do it live, and we'll go to notifications, and hopefully I'm going to find... Actually, I think I have my profile, and we'll play that. But yeah, I had no idea this was going on. This is somebody else's video right here. Nope, not the martial law video that you were posting. This one right here.
Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. Well, this is a good example of the power of the people and also the power of the media, because I haven't heard anything about this, not through the usual news channels or even the alternative news channels. At this moment, there is literally nothing about what's just happened in Denmark. The government in Denmark had proposed a new epidemic law, which was not going to be temporary. Just to give a brief summary, this new law, it included 1. People infected can be forcibly given medical examination, hospitalized, treated and placed in isolation. 2. Government would be able to define groups of people who must be vaccinated. 3. People who refuse the above can be coerced through physical detainment. Yes, this was the new law that they were proposing to bring in. But Denmark have been protesting for the last 9 days because of this law. And after 9 days of the protest, this law now has been abandoned. Apparently Denmark have been protesting en masse with pots and pans outside their parliament. Now, this is not mentioned anywhere. I've found just 2 clips from all of this to show you, and it doesn't surprise me.
Now, this was in November, and I remember I briefly covered it, but he's right. I've never seen any of the clips of that happening, and it was brief, and it wasn't as much in there. But that's how much of a blackout we have in the media right now, like globally, and that's not by accident, Fitch. And I know you know that, but I don't know, man. We're in some wild times. We got fights. We'll go into the other card, the Fight Night card, in a second. Bellator still has nothing scheduled. I'm waiting on that. LFA comes back this week. I'll be watching that. Before we get into the fights that are believed are this week, which is Holloway Qatar, and by the way, it's 2 p.m. Central Time for the main card, I think, because it's out in Dubai, so it's super early. I think it's going to be like 11 a.m. my time for the undercard, but we'll get there. Poirier McGregor 2. Is this a big pay-per-view? Do they make a lot of money on it? Does Poirier beat McGregor now that he's not all hollowed out and it's much later in their careers? What are your thoughts?
Man, well, McGregor has not fought for a while. He's been, doing whatever. So it's hard to tell. The guy's taking a big break. A lot can happen to you. A lot can happen with your training or your body or mental state, whatever. Poirier's been more active, but he also got who has he fought since Khabib?
I think he got dusted up by Gaethje. That's what you're thinking, right? They had a big fight, but like Gaethje ended up being the winner at the end.
Okay.
And I think actually Poirier may have beaten Gaethje in the first one. You know what? Let's do it live again. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share, everybody. Yeah. Let's do it.
I'd love to see Poirier win. I think he should. I would love for him to win. But you never know. Connor's got that ability to win the big ones.
Well, let's see what we got. So he beat Hooker. Poirier. He lost to Khabib, but he was on a Holloway, Alvarez, Gaethje, Pettis run. He got a no contest with Alvarez. That's the one where he had to run it back twice. That was an interesting fight. He beat Miller. He lost to Michael Johnson. But that's in 2016. I mean, he's been on
he's been. Yeah, I think he's been winning a lot of fights, and so he lost to Khabib, but he's got to win after the Khabib loss. So he's moving forward again. I think he's got a good probability of winning this fight.
I sure hope so.
It's just a counter factor. He's got that ability to get under guys' skin and draw them out. Guys reaching. But Poirier, it seems like he's had a full camp, and he's probably more mature and more calm. So I don't know. I think he's got really good potential to win this fight.
Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm not going to get into all the McGregor evidence and how much there is out there that he's a violent rapist. But unfortunately, like that looks like it's going nowhere. They briefly mentioned in June it made several mainstream media outlets that he wasn't going to be charged with it. Breaks my heart. I am never going to back off a word I said about that. I'll tell you right now, unless someone shows me compelling evidence to the other end, we'll probably end up doing an update video before that fight. Chandler versus Hooker, I like, but Hooker coming off a loss.
Hooker coming off a loss. I don't know if this is a great. I don't know if it's a great situation for Hooker. I don't know why he took this fight. He wants to try to leapfrog into a bigger fight. I don't know. Well, off a loss, I think safer fight might have been better for Hooker.
I think you're right.
Good wrestling, good power. I think it's too much for Qatar.
So this is the fight night this weekend. Let's see what we got. We got Jacob Kilburn versus Austin Lingo, Sarah Moras versus Vanessa Malau, David Zawada versus Ramzan Ameev. Actually, these are pretty good fights. Carlos Felipe, not familiar with him, but I haven't seen Justin Taffa, Omer, and this is a big undercard. Man, this is this is the one in Dubai? Okay, so this is on Fight Island. Omari Akhmedov, he's ranked. Tom Breeze, that's interesting. Wu Yanan versus Jocelyn Edwards, no picture there. Philip Haas versus Nasruddin Imanov. All right, so a lot of prelims. Main card, you got Holloway versus Qatar, Condit versus Brown. I actually like that fight. That's fine with me.
Should have happened 10 years ago, though.
They did run it that 5 years ago, didn't they?
Was it 5 years ago?
It's got to be. Maybe 6.
Years ago.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. Neither of them have shown fire and dynamite. I think Condit has a win in his last fight.
He took a big break, though, too.
Who did?
Condit, I thought. Didn't he?
Yeah, but he's been taking breaks. Let's go. All right, let's do it live. Condit's been in and out like that with injuries, but let's go with his fighting. Because I think he's coming off a win. I think I watched him win his last fight, which was good. But he had a slew of losses before that. Yes. So he did. So I'm on that. He just beat Court McGee in October this year. Okay? Now, before that, are you ready? He lost in December of 2018. So he was on a loss streak to Kaseya, Alex Oliveira, Neil Magny, Damian Maia, and Robbie Lawler. And he had traded victories he beat Alves, lost to Woodley, beat Martin Kampmann, Hendricks. Now we're talking about going way back. But he hadn't fought much since, what, 2016, 2015? I mean, he hadn't fought much at all. Basically, those fights are all the way back to, like, 2015. So it's from 2015 to 2018, he loses 5 fights, 0-5. You know what I'm saying? He comes back less than 2 years later, beats Court McGee. You're saying you think Condit takes out Matt Brown. That's a very good possibility.
Well, I don't know though. Matt Brown hustles. He's tough, man. I never put my money against Matt Brown.
Yeah, but Matt Brown I think is coming off against a loss in the UFC. He's got less thunder. Let's see what we got. We're doing it live. And by the way, I think this is a good fight to make. He is. So he lost in May of 2020 to Miguel Bezea, and I did watch that. And he had actually wins against Diego Sanchez and Ben Saunders in 2019 and 2017, respectively. Okay. All right. I don't hate that. I don't hate, and you're right. It's probably a toss-up, but I think Condit coming off a win, I'm giving the edge to Condit. But I love that fight. I think it's a good fight. I like this fight, too. Jing Lang has that crazy chin. Like that cartoon level chin, dude. But I got to take Ponzinibbio, right?
I think so.
Right? I think that's a good fight, though. I'd like to be upset on that. Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley's the one who had that crazy up kick on one foot with that knockout. And his only recent loss, he really won that fight against Kevin McDonald. He had that split decision loss. Even McDonald said he won that fight. But this kid, Alessio Di I'm going to butcher that, Chirico, he's also looking good. So, this main card's solid, dude. I don't know much about these two on the bottom, but very, very solid card. I hate how it says odds, but then it doesn't show you what the odds are. It's like it just writes odds. Like, come on, man. Give me something. Give me something, guys. Joaquin Buckley. Oh, boy, Fitch. So you watching these fights? Or you got the kids?
When are the fights? When are they coming up? Are they this weekend?
So, yeah, this is Saturday.
Groundhog Day. So I always lose. What is today? Is it time to pay mortgage yet?
Oh, no. I pay rent. It's on the first every month. 11 a.m. Central Time, so that's 9 a.m. Your time. The first, that's prelims. 9 a.m.
This weekend?
9 a.m. this weekend. I know you like the ladies, John. You might be out on a date late night. 9 a.m. might not be there for you. Too much bourbon.
This weekend, I think I got the kids this weekend. Oh no, I just had the weekends this weekend because we went fishing.
So who knows?
I'll be free this weekend, so we'll see. I don't have.
Well, that's pretty early for me. So maybe if you want to do a main card watch along and talk smack, we could do that. I don't know if you're into it, but that's definitely a possibility for me because what's that for me? It's 2 p.m. and I definitely want to get a broadcast in, and that'd be like probably 2 to 3 hours, depending, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fitch, let's wrap it up. I've been on the air a long time today.
Get my lift in.
Yeah, get your work on. The GoFundMe, guys, while I'm here, let's do it. JohnFitch.net. That's where you find everything Fitch, including the Wake Up Bible.
One going out.
Rockfin.com. That's where you find both of us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Had a
it's
new-
odd times.
Rockfin, I think yesterday or today.
I might have to make us a full channel for Mixed Martial Mindset just in case they kick me off of.
That's what me and Leah emailed them about doing a platform just for Boomer and Toots.
Mhm.
That way we can keep the keep the race separate, but also just keeps it from being cluttered.
Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? And I think that may be something we should do all the way around anyway to maybe protect us in case I get deplatformed real quick. Because it could happen. It could happen. All right, Fitch. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. Again, very little MMA lately. Whole lot of mindset because the world's a crazy place. Love you guys and see you on the flip side. Later, Fitch.
Laters.